Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good day to you, depending where you are in the world. We are here live in London doing my nighttime devotion. We're reading from the devotional To Be Like Jesus. The title today is Represent Christ in Every Circumstance. Romans 12 verse 3 says, "For by the grace given to me, I say to everyone among you not to think of yourself more highly than you ought to think, but to think with sober judgment, each according to the measure of that faith that God has assigned." Live for something besides yourself. If your motives are pure and unselfish, if you're looking out to do work that somebody must do, to show kind attentions and to do courteous acts, you are unconsciously building your own monument. In the home life, in the church, in the world, you're representing Christ in character. This is the work the Lord calls upon all to do. Let your aspirations and your motives be pure. In every business transaction, be rigidly honest. However tempted, never deceive or prevaricate. Don't know that word. Never deceive or prevaricate in the least matter. I'm going to have to look that one up. At times, a natural impulse may bring temptation to diverge from the straightforward path of honesty, but do not vary one hair's breadth. If in any matter you make a statement as to what you will do, and afterward find that you have favored others to your own loss, do not vary from principle. Carry out your agreement. By seeking to change your plans, you would show that you could not be depended on. And should you draw back in little transactions, you would draw back in larger ones. Under such circumstances, some are tempted to deceive, saying, "I was not understood. My words have been taken to mean more than I intended." The fact is, they meant just what they said, but lost the good impulse and then wanted to draw back from their agreement, lest it prove a loss to them. The Lord requires us to do justice, to love mercy and truth and righteousness. Men and women are destitute of the stern virtues required to build up the church. They're not capable of devising methods and plans of a healthful, solid character. They are deficient in the very qualifications essential to the prosperity of the church. It is this kind of education that needs to be changed to an education that is sound and sensible, in harmony with Bible principles. And this is so very true. Someone can make an agreement with you, some sort of transaction, be it monetary or be it exchanging something. And then when they realize they hasn't been the wisest of agreements, they change their mind because they can see or they can feel that they're going to make a loss in some way. Instead of honoring an agreement they've made with someone, They realize that they've got to make a loss, and then they go back on what they've said. Let your aspirations and your motives be pure. In every business transaction, be rigidly honest. And the fact remains, if you are honest all the time, you'll always know what you're talking about. No one can trip you up. And you'll be in your integrity will completely be intact. And there's nothing more really in life other than, of course, being faithful and serving our Father, is to also have good integrity. That is also being Christ-like.